Good day. In this podcast, you will learn why the education system started to adopt project-based learning and how to implement it. Let's start with why. That is the intentions and logic behind it. In 1950s, what were people requirements for educations? It links directly to the industry workforce requirements. The prerequisites for securing a job are very simple. You can work for a long time, sit still and be patient. Then you can memorize some operations details and read the operation manual. Lastly, you can understand some simple mathematics to solve the manufacturing issue. Then you will be hired. The trained people works on production line, doing some routine work. At the time, there was no internet and no social media. Therefore, in 1950s, our education did not highlight the knowledge-based requirements because there was no demand. Thus, that is pointless for us to do it at that moment. But today, the requirements for a talent cover the following aspect: the ability to solve complex problems and critical thinking. Then, the guys have to be creativity, human management skills, collaboration skills, and relatively high emotional intelligence. These skill sets are what everyone needs for education today. However, our education continues the teaching methods of 1950s and 1960s. The system cultivates everyone into a state made up of a mold. Therefore, we must change the structure of our educations. So, what is project-based learning? For the school that practice project-based learning, there is no classroom like the school that we can imagine. A teacher stands on a stage and gives lectures, and the dozens of students sit there to listen to it. No way. You go to any class that practicing project-based learning, and you will find that the students are crowded together in small groups and busy with their business. And then the teachers sometimes chat with these students, or the teachers is standing at the front of the classroom, waiting for the student to ask him questions. That's the kind of situations that is skewed to the student-based learning. There is no longer the structure of a class, not at all. The teachers needs to be able to produce a lot of topics based on real-life problems. And the children learns all topics by solving real-life problems. The aim is for students to overcome challenges by executing the projects and solving practical problems. In finding solutions, students receive timely feedback and take action to continuously improve their solution. This task is the new responsibility of the teacher. So, how to implement the project-based learning? For example, to study mass communications, I propose the following steps. Step 1. I told the student that our class is now divided into several groups, and each group will register a company. Then you start a media company, give your company a name, and set the vision, missions, and goals based on the SMART rule. Step 2. Design the topic related to the project for the students. For instance, when we talk about the newspaper publication chapter, I ask them to publish the newspaper or newsletter for the school. Then, when we talk about the magazine chapter, I ask them to study the magazine history and publish a magazine of their own. Step 3. Coach the student through the process of learning with detailed guidelines. The teacher grows together with the students by listening to their problems and brainstorming the solution together. At the same time, the teacher will prepare the learning videos and learning materials for the student. These resources are crucial to ensure that the student can learn according to the learning outcomes planned for the courses. The student will do a lot of self-learning with the learning materials prepared. Step 4. Project presentations by the students. You will easily find very few parts that I can really teach, all of which are taught by the student instead of me, because they are project-oriented. they find it particularly fun. We call that gamifications. As if they are starting a business, they go to organize a newspaper, organize a magazine. So, in the end, you will find that the knowledge about newspapers and magazine that we want students to learn is even much more than what I have asked. Because the student participates in the virtuous company. Therefore, they hope for the best for the company. This is the example of the typical project-based learning experience. These project topics are not improvised on the spot. The topics are students' daily work that involve in-depth explorations, planning, research, modeling, writing, and critical thinking. Instead of just teaching, students and teachers work together on these projects. The teacher has a rule of thumb of implementing the project-based learning. Okay, we call that. They are not desserts. They are the main dishes. It means that the project-based learning is the primary assessment for the course. The student have to take it seriously. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you learn the why and how to implement the project-based learning. Enjoy teaching and see you again. I am Dr. Koay from ViTrox Academy.